Alright, welcome to another week of training. We're going to do something a little bit different this week. We're going to focus a lot on kicking plays, specifically the rules involved in kicking plays and how the rules are a little bit different when a kick is involved. As you've always said, kicking plays are when all the weird stuff happens. That's when anything that can go wrong usually does. And it doesn't help that, well, I say it doesn't help, and it's just the way it is, that rules are a little bit different, especially in enforcement on a kick rather than a normal scrimmage play. Because when you have a kicking play, you're dealing with a ball that is loose, essentially, for most of the play. For instance, on a scrimmage kick, when foot hits the ball, now we have a loose ball. And that ball remains loose until possessed by R or K or whoever. Remember, a kick is a kick is a kick. So during the duration of the kick, we have a loose ball. So the rules, especially as enforcement goes, pertain to a loose ball. There are exceptions, KCI being one of them, and post-scrimmage kick. But for the most part, fouls during a kick are loose ball fouls. So in most cases, if it's during the kick, we go back to previous spot. As a rule of thumb. Like I said, there are exceptions. So first of all, let's look at KCI, particularly what is and what is not KCI. Now KCI, we really want contact. You're looking for, does a K player obstruct R player's path to the ball? So that's what you're looking for. There's no halo rule. There's no, did he get too close? None of that. All right. Verbal, so we can have verbal KCI. It's really got to be something like, and even then, it would be more unsportsmanlike conduct, not KCI. Like if he's cussing at him or questioning his heritage or whatever, that's more in line with unsportsmanlike conduct, not KCI. So there's nothing about getting too close. In this instance, they get close, but they never obstruct his path to the ball. You can see they give him a clear path to the ball. So this is all legal. Now, at first glance, especially from this angle, I thought we may have an invalid fair catch. It looks like he kind of gives what I thought was a getaway signal at first. And remember, we said if you give the getaway signal, you cannot try to advance it. But looking at that angle, I don't think he's giving the getaway signal. It's like he's just moving his hands. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. That's a judgment. But if you deem that an invalid fair catch, then we're killing it as soon as he catches the ball. So there's an example of what is not KCI. Here's another example. This is a little bit harder. It's hard to tell really if there's contact here. But again, there's nothing about getting too close to a returner. It's all about is there contact, and specifically, did he obstruct his path to the ball? Also, ideally, we would like you to be a little bit at a better angle here, not maybe a little bit closer, 5 to 10 yards deep. Side judge, field judge. We're really looking if you're at an angle where you can see if there's contact here, because we're not inside the numbers yet, so this is still the field judge's key. So we want you in a position where you can really see this angle and see if there's contact here. It does not appear to be contact, so this would just be no KCI and a muff. And then we have there's a scramble for the ball. But it looks like the field judge, from where he's coming, it looks like he was in pretty good angle, good position to rule on that. So maybe he saw contact. Again, if there is contact here, then we can go with KCI. We're looking for, did he obstruct his path to the ball? I cannot emphasize or say that phrase too many times. Did he obstruct his path to the ball? All right, so here we're going to have KCI. It's like we also got. Let's see if we can figure out what the pre-snap foul is. It's thrown on the K side, so we're gonna illegal shift, legal formation, one of those. So now we have a foul at the snap. Alright, so a couple of things to digest on this play. Let's first look at, so we know we have a live ball, what we're considering a live ball foul during the kick, simultaneous with the snap on K. So that's the first thing we're working with here. So do we have KCI? As a general rule of thumb, if it's bang bang like this, if it's bang bang, if the receiver catches it, you have no foul. If he muffs it, then we're going to go with KCI. In general, don't apply that for everything. If you have clear contact before he has a chance to catch the ball, then you have KCI. If there's no clear contact, it's bang bang, or he clearly waited, then you're not going to have it. But if it is bang bang, like this is, you're having a hard time really trying to figure it out, because this is pretty bang bang, even slowing it down. It looks like he may have got him early, but it's hard to tell. But like I said, as a general rule of thumb, bang bang. If he catches it, we're going to go with no foul. If he muffs it, then we're going to go under the assumption that he was hit before he had an opportunity to catch the ball. Therefore, it's going to be KCI. So we're going to have KCI, and that's the flag. So just because we have KCI doesn't mean we stop officiating. We don't stop the play. It's live ball. Play is still going. Now we know that K cannot advance a kick. So if we deem this a muff, which as of now it is, even though we have KCI, this is still a muff. Then as soon as K possesses it right there, then we kill it. We're going to kill the play. It's going to be K's ball. So they, as of now, pretend all penalties have been declined, it would be K's ball right there about the 44. So they cannot advance this. So in general, we just go ahead and kill it. All right, don't let this go on. Kill it. That way we don't have to worry about any kind of dead ball or any action or anything after that. Just kill this. So now we have to deviate what's happening on this play. So like I said, KCI is officiated differently than a normal foul during the kick. Like I said at the beginning, foul during the kick is considered a loose ball foul, so we go previous spot. But with KCI, they have the option to don't want to use the term tack on. It's essentially what it is. You can take an awarded fair catch 15 yards from the spot of the foul, which is usually what they're going to take. So in this instance, that's most likely what K would do, except we have a foul by K simultaneous with the snap. So R has options. R can they can decline the KCI and take I'm assuming it's a legal formation, I don't know for sure, back them up 5 yards and re-kick, or they can decline the illegal formation, take the KCI, and like I said, they have options. You're probably going to tack it on 15 yards from the spot, give them the ball about the 40. So it's most likely what they would do in this scenario. But the takeaway from this is KCI is enforced differently than your normal foul during a loose ball. Alright, let's take a look at this play. So this isn't necessarily going to be KCI because the returner is allowed to catch the ball. But we do have targeting. And this is actually upgraded targeting with an ejection. And we'll break down why. So we don't have targeting because we don't have KCI because you see he does not impede his path to the ball. He offers him the right to catch the ball, which he does. The targeting comes in. You can see the K player lowers his helmet, does not wrap up, no attempt to tackle at all. This is just a punishing blow meant to inflict pain, and he was rightly ejected and rightly flagged for targeting. So let's talk about rules and status of the ball and how this is enforced. So a couple of things. First of all, we have to determine whether or not this is a catch and then a fumble, whether it's just a catch, or whether we have a muff. And this also highlights the importance of, after you throw your flag, why we need to keep officiating, because not only do we have to make a ruling, a quick ruling on targeting, we have to rule the status of the kick, status of the catch, and status really of the play as it ends. So if we rule this a catch, so remember, catch, we have possession and control, and then so we rule this a catch as a catch and then a fumble, and then the targeting is assessed from there, and so it would be the end of the play. So if it is a catch and fumble, K recovers, then we're going to mark him back 15 yards, and K will keep the ball. If there's a catch and a fumble, and R recovers, then R gets the ball, and we just tackle him 15 yards. There's nothing, just because if the targeting causes the fumble, that's irrelevant in the rules of football. It's just, sucks, but that's the rule. If we rule this a muff, then it is a previous spot. And if it's a muff and R recovers, then we would go 15 yards, previous spot. What did that say? If K recovers? If it's a muff, K recovers, then 15 yards, previous spot. Muff and R recovers, then we just tackle him 15 yards and R keeps the ball. So that's how we officiate it from there. So there's also, is that an invalid fair catch? Yes, it is. So, but that would kill the play when he catches it. So if we rule this, so you rule that invalid fair catch, which it is, then if you consider this possession and control, then the play's dead right here, and then even if R recovers, then play's over anyway. So R would keep the ball. Whether RK recovers, they keep the ball because the play was dead once he possessed and secured it. Hope that makes sense. All right, because play's over. It's possessed and secured. Invalid fair catch. So we're killing it when there's possession and control. Play's over. Then ball comes out. Doesn't matter because it's still going to be R's ball. And we just tack the 15 yards on. All right. That's how we officiate that. Showed this one. This is not a kick, but I'm going to show it an example of a good legal tackle where you have a wrap up involved. You can see he comes in. It's a hard hit. His helmet's lowered a little bit. I mean, I think he still has his head up or his face up, and he's going in the side with the shoulder. And more important, he wraps up. So this shows it's a hard hit, but it's an attempt at a tackle. Because the wrap up really shows that it's really just a really good form tackle right here. Goes low, gives him about mid torso, puts his shoulder right in that stomach. That's just a good form tackle. And so the wrap up kind of tells you it all. It's a good hit. And I just show that to show you what a legal hit would look like. All right, let's look at blocking on a free kick, specifically illegal blocking on a free kick before the ball goes 10 yards. So remember, K cannot initiate a block until the ball can be legally touched by R. So K cannot initiate the block until the ball has touched the ground and gone 10 yards. So we see this a lot at onside kicks. And it looks like this is a surprise onside kick. It doesn't look like we're in, onside kick formation here. So you always kind of want to be on alert for this. So it's kind of hard to keep track of where the ball is on this, but you can see right here, the ball's right here. We can kind of follow it. So now the ball is just now gone 10 yards, and we have K initiating a block here. So this should be a foul for a legal block. And remember, the signal for this is not a 15-yard penalty. A lot of times this gets confused as a 15-yarder. This is a 10-yard penalty. It has its own specific item on the penalty chart, a legal block on a free kick, and it's signal 43, which is the block in the back signal. This is a 10-yard kick, and since K recovered, the penalty would be 10 yards from the previous spot re-kick. Alright, so there's something we always want to look at. In general, when the kick is to one side, the deep official or wing official, whoever on that far side, will look for illegal blocks because you're wider, so you can see it a little bit better. And the near side official is looking for the ball being touched legally before or after 10 yards. In general, that's what you're looking for. So here we have a similar play. So this one we flagged it for a legal hit, but it's actually a legal hit. The ball has gone 10 yards. And it says hit the ground. It's 10 yards. All right, so now we're good. And then he's hit. So we flagged this incorrectly. And it's not KCI because it doesn't obstruct his path to the ball anyway. Which a free kick, KCI is different anyway. Remember, free kick is if K touches the ball before it goes 10 yards or hit the ground. So it's not KCI. It's not targeting. So this is all legal. So it's just something to look out for. And it's hard if you're that near official to see everything, to see the hit, to see when the ball's legal to be touched. That's why generally we want to work in conjunction. Like I said before, your far side official looking for illegal blocks, near side looking for whether or not it went 10 yards. So just, these are tough, especially if you're not expecting it. And you have one official kind of feeling like they look for everything. Alright, here's one that is officiated differently now than it was just 2 or 3 years ago. So we're going to have a legal formation on K. You see the line judge throws the flag. So we have a live ball foul simultaneous with the snap. And then we don't see it on film, but we have a dead ball personal foul against R. So we have a live ball foul against K and a dead ball personal foul against R. Under the old rule, R would have to decline K's foul and then and then live with the penalty on the dead ball, because the K foul would be a previous spot foul. So it would actually, in this scenario, it would actually benefit K, because if we go back and look, we got about 4th and 8. So if R accepted the K penalty, we would go 5 yards back. Then you got the dead ball foul on R, which actually puts them up 15 yards and actually gives them a first down. So what they would have to do in that case is decline the K penalty and then just live with the penalty against them. If that makes sense. But remember, we had a change to the rule where we allowed a tack on from the succeeding spot. So under the new rule from 2 or 3 years ago, R can accept K's live ball penalty and just add 5. It would just be 5 yards added to where they did the fair catch. I think it was a fair catch. Maybe it was, fair catch. It would just be added. So fair catch is about the 15. So a new penalty, R can accept K's illegal formation penalty, put them at the 20, and then there's a 15-yard penalty, just backs them up to the 10. Does that make sense? I know it's kind of convoluted, but the new penalty, live ball foul, we essentially a tack on. I don't think they like us using the word tack on, but that's essentially what it is, because you can add on to the succeeding spot. So, and here's another one, and you're gonna have to just take my word on this one because you can't see the numbers, but I still want to walk you through this. So we have a swinging gate formation on a PAT. You can't see it, but there's only 4 players on the line numbered 50 to 79. I think it's one of those things, you can't see it, just take my word for it. The rules say, unless you're in a scrimmage kick formation, the numbering exception, you have to have 5. 5 players on the line numbered 50 to 79. We don't have that. So, are we in a scrimmage kick formation? No, we are not. Again, the rule specifies under formations, Rule 2, if you have a holder on the ground with his knee on the ground, which we have, there then also has to be a player deeper than him in a position to kick the ball. We don't have that. We have the holder with his knee on the ground, but we do not have a player in position to kick the ball. So this is just a scrimmage formation, and you just consider that holder, he's basically a back at this point. So this is an illegal formation. You can see the referee, he recognizes it and throws a flag. It's good recognition on the referee's part. And another thing I would take away from this is just, if you're a referee and you don't kind of have this in your pre-snap, like your pre-snap checklist, your pre-snap routine, start trying to work this in, because I don't want to speak for a lot of you, but I'm willing to bet a lot of white hats around the state would not have recognized this. So it's a good recognition, and it's a good thing to keep in mind. So again, if you're going to be in a scrimmage kick formation, you got to have that holder knee on the ground, and you got to have someone in position to kick the ball, which they don't here. And so since they don't, they had to have 5 on the line numbered 50 to 79. They do not. So this is an illegal formation. Since it's on a PAT, then it would just be a no-go. And it basically voided, and we just go to the next place, just kick off. So, again, good job by the referee on that one. Okay, question we hear a lot, running into the kicker. Remember, if they blocked into the kicker, then it's not a foul. This is not constituted as being blocked into the kicker. It's more of a whiff. I know, because I've heard a lot of referees say they're very, very, we'll say, lenient on running into and roughing the kicker. They don't like calling it. They won't call it. Call me a former kicker who's sympathetic if you want, but rules are the rules. This does not constitute being blocked into. That's just a whiff. You can't see it on that one, but you can see in the end zone angle, kicker clearly gets ran into. And this was correctly called. It's just 5 yards. That's all it is. So, let's please keep that in mind. All right, last one. We talked about this a little bit. Not in the week 3 corrections. We talked about it. I think I omitted it from the regular training tape because I was wrong. But a 2-point stance cannot block below the waist, regardless. And a 2-point stance in a shotgun, which I don't know when else you'd be in shotgun or in 2-point stance. But 2-point stance in a shotgun, offensive lineman cannot block below the waist. A lot of times it gets mixed up with it immediately at the snap. That's only in a 3 or 4-point stance. 2-point stance, they can't do it. That is a Georgia interpretation. It's not clearly stated in the rule book or the case book, but in Georgia we interpret it as 2-point stance, cannot block below the waist. Even if you just pretend he's in a 3 or 4-point stance, this would still be illegal because he comes up and takes a step and then goes down. So that's not immediately at the snap. So either way, this is a block below the waist. And it's a safety foul, so we really want to make sure we're focusing on that. Alright, that's it for this week. Hope this video was a lot better than last week's. I know we had issues with last week's. And I do want to say thanks to the guys that pointed it out, because we always want to try to get it right, especially rules. But hopefully the corrections and addendum clarified everything up. Alright, have a good week and good luck.